Hi guys, today I'm in Coimbra, a place called Escola Agrária, very beautiful place as you can see, and it's very windy so the camera is a little bit shaking, and today I'm going to talk about deadlines and estimations, okay? So let's talk about, check it out. Okay, so as you can see today I'm in sports wear, and I hope you also exercise. You also do some exercise so you can take out the stress and have more energy. So sometimes the camera might fall and I have to to grab it, so it will give some dynamic to the movie. Anyway, so I'm going to talk today about deadlines and estimations, and for sure in your company, in your business, and in your professional life, sometimes you have someone that asks you, so can you tell me when are you going to deliver this? What is what will be the deadline? Or I need this for this deadline. And you say, oh, I don't know, yes, not, or you are being requested to deliver work for a client, and you have to give a deadline. And sometimes you say, oh, I will give it soon, or I don't know when I will finish, I don't know. And so sometimes when people say that to me, inside me I feel like, ah! But outside I say, really? So when it will be? In 10 years? In 5 years? So it's an exaggeration, of course, just to give some shaking the brain so the people can realize that it's not the right answer. Of course, I know that sometimes we have work that is the first time we are doing, so probably we don't know what exactly we are going to take the time because it's new, it's very new. And but there is a technique for that. I will tell you in a few minutes. And so, as I was saying, the deadlines are very important. The estimation, it's very important to give to the people, because that deadline probably will have influence to some planning, some work, some business, some money, okay? Because probably that deadline will have some consequence in terms of work, will have some consequence to invoice, to process an invoice, to send a bill or something else. And usually if you are not an entrepreneur, you usually don't have the whole picture. And so you only see your work. And that's very important. You know exactly what you are doing and what is the impact if you fail the deadline. And if you are an entrepreneur, of course, you know exactly that the deadlines are huge and are very important to know in front. And usually people have the when they are approaching to the end of that deadline, they don't warn the person that has a request that work. They don't warn. They don't say, oh, be careful that I might fail this deadline. I might fail, so because this came up and this priority came up, and so you have to be proactive. Proactive is very, very important. If you are proactive, you always be a great professional, and that's very, very important. Okay, that's very important. And so, how can we give a estimation of something that we have never done? It's very simple. It's very simple. So, what you do is you pick up the task that you need to do, and you need to deliver a deadline for that task, and you split in small tasks. Sorry. So as small as you can estimate. So if you have a big task, you're just going to cut, and so for the small actions that you are going to have, you give estimation. It's because it's easier. It's easier. You see so small, you just say, oh, that I just have to open the software. Or, oh, this is a dynamic movie, so we have to be ready to. Okay. So as I was telling you, you pick up the big tasks, you cut the task, and then you calculate each small step, and then you sum up, and you will have estimation. Because it's very easy to calculate when you have a very, very tiny step. It's very, very easy, and that way you can really give estimation and get it right. But if you don't get it right, don't worry. You learn. The most important is first warn the people that has request that work. Okay, warn before. Be proactive. Okay. And then if you miss the deadline, just learn how can you do it better next time, how can you give a better estimation, or how can you accomplish that deadline in the timing that is necessary. And so you have to think how you can compress time. And for that I can tell you that you should see the video about the principle of sloth. The principle of laziness, so that I speak about in one of my video blogs. And if you haven't seen, just click and go and see it. So I hope you have an amazing week, full of energy, full of key, and I hope you give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, doesn't matter, just give me something. And if you want to see more videos about this, just go to www.ricardoteixeira.com. There is a link over here. And just give me some comments, just say something to me. And I hope to see you in the next video. And once again, full of energy and full of what? Full of key, of course. See you. Hi, it's me, Ricardo Teixeira again. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and if you want to receive more videos like this, just hit the logo and subscribe this YouTube channel. If you want to receive newsletters through into your inbox and useful information, useful things that you can learn and apply into your life and into your business, just go to ricardoteixeira.com and you can subscribe there the newsletter. And I would like to ask you to comment. Just comment the video so I can know if I can improve, which areas I can focus, which we would like to see, and hit the thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever. Just give some feedback. It would be very, very, very nice. Another thing that I would like to ask is share this video in your social networks like Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever social networks that you have. Okay, I hope you have a great key, great energy, and have a day full of power. Okay, I will see you in the next video.